To be very honest with you, it will start in a while. Let me be like just start a live. Right. Brilliant. So the first three classes, as I told you, hmm, will be free for all. And in these three classes, I will try not to discuss the basics of Gemini because that includes a whole lot of my researches. Hmm. I'll not be discussing that. Right. Today's class, I will be discussing. I love when people have a camera on. Show me that your devices have a camera, right? Yeah, good camera, beautiful faces. It's good to look at people. The feeling of isolation is very bad. Prisoners are given this torture.
Shivamji,
Right.
namaskar.
So what we wish to do today, we wish to do today two, three things, small two, three things, right? First of all, the plus minus of Gemini. Why Gemini is good, why you should do Gemini, and just a bit tips and tricks. And we'll try to discover what is Atmakaraka. We'll try to discover what is an Atmakaraka, right? This is what we tend to do. Hmm? First of all, talking about a few things. Start from the starting thing. Astrologies technically can be divided into three sections. Astrology of sages, Gemini, Parashar, etc. Astrology of acharyas, Vara, Mihir, Badarayan, etc. And astrology of normal people, me, you, etc. In the astrology of sages, there are many sages who are named. And we have text from very few of them. The 1, 2, 3 text that we have is also somehow unauthentic. Right? Like the BPHS Brath Parashar Hora Sastra is highly doubted to be authentic. Me, my guru, and our parampara take it to be highly unauthentic. Based on multiple factors that we will discuss some other day. Let's not our time. Let's not waste our time today. Because of the the format of writing, the format of the text, the format of the shlokas, the depth of the shlokas, right? The understanding. So multiple things. Okay. There are texts of some sages such as Garg, etc. as well. Garg Hora is not available. People like Sri R. Santhanam have tried making Garg Hora, right? But he tried making a Garg Hora. That is not a real Garg Hora, right? And there is a list of 18 reformers of astrology, 18 sages who reformed astrology. And in that name, in that list, there are a name of many sages, right? Mayavanamanitha Parashar, etc. Gemini doesn't feature in any of them, which led us to believe that the list is unauthentic, right? It is unauthentic because of many more reasons as well. You know what is the power with Gemini? The power with Gemini is threefold. One, we are taking the fact that other than BPHs, you don't know any other Rishi Hora. Hora is the text written on predictive astrology, and Rishi means sage, right? So we are taking the point that other than BPHs, you don't know of any classic written by sages. And do you know what is the flow of BPHs, right? Maitreya, who himself is a sage, is asking some questions from, right? Asking some questions from Parashar. Who is answering him? Then who is writing? Technically, a third person. What is the credibility of that third person? We don't know. Do you get my point? Maitreya is asking to Parashara. Parashara is talking, but who is writing? We don't know. Because BPHS, like, take Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is talking to Arjun. Hmm? So who is writing? Vyas is writing. Because Vyas has written Mahabharata. And Bhagavad Gita is an episode in Mahabharata. So Vyas is writing. Or rather, some people believe that Vyas is telling and Ganesha is writing. But who is writing BPHS? Anonymous source. We don't know. Anonymous, some XYZ person is writing. Who is that person? Only Maitreya or Parashar. Who is the third person standing there? So technically, Parashar is not writing the text, and it is not intended for you to learn as well. It is not intended for everyone. Try to understand my point. Maitreya have an astrological level. Maitreya already knows something in astrology. He is just clarifying his doubts from Parashar. Do you get my point? Maitreya is just clarifying a few doubts. So BPHS is not a systematic study, right? He is not systematically asking, he's not systematically telling Parashar to teach him complete astrology, right? He's just inquiring about a few things. That Parashar is answering him. Do you get my point? Are we being very clear? Yeah. So Parashara is neither writing nor telling you with this perspective that you are going to read it tomorrow. Got it? So that's the point. That's the problem number one. On the other hand, Jaimini is writing a sutra. Jaimini is writing a sutra which is intended for you to read. Right? Upadesam Vyakhyasama is the first shloka that he tells, right? Now I am telling you the Upadesh, now I am giving you the knowledge, right? So Jaimini is specifically writing it for you to read it, learn it, whatever you say, right? That's the first striking difference that you have to get through. Have it very clear into your mind. Got it? Now it is Jaimini Sutra. It is what? Jaimini Sutra. It is not Jaimini Shloka. What is the difference between a sutra and a shloka? A shloka is like Swami Guru Vikshit Yudadishta Nanyascha Viryatkata. A long poetic poem is a shloka. A long poetic poem is a shloka. Shloka is a poetry. And you know the problem with poetry, right? If there is a poetry that says Sajan ka chehra chand ke jaisa, that the face of my beloved is like moon. I want to ask the person a question. Moon is having spots. Right? Moon is having spots. Is there a beloved suffering with acne? A moon is having spots or not? You know. And what moon? Clarify. I mean, Krishna Amavasya Chaturdashi. What type of moon? Is your spouse Amavasya moon? Do you get my point? So the shloka can be complex with multiple meanings, and it is poetic. Unlike Varamehir, who have been very careful while composing a shloka, the current author, the author of the current BPHS, seems like he is not so serious about the stuff. Got it? Yes, Govind Kumar ji, live chal raha hai. Okay. The speciality of the sutra is that it is concise, it is precise, and it will have multiple meanings. Hmm? It is concise, it is precise, and it will have multifold meanings. It is clear, unambiguous, sharp, directed. To get my point, what do I mean to say? It is compact so that you can remember it very easily. Updesam Vyakyasama Abhipasyanti Rikshani Parsavavecha. Right? This is one liner, two liner, three liner, four liner. Very simple and easy. You can easily remember them. It is clear, unambiguous, without any poetic inference that you have to draw from it, and it will be having multiple meanings, right? So that is a speciality with the sutra. And to be very honest with you, many people take Jaimini to be the student of grandson of Parashar. That according to me is not true. Ask me why. Because Sutra style is ancient as compared to Shloka style. Bhagavad Gita is written in Shloka. Brahma Sutra is written in Sutra. So Sutra style is ancient. Right? You get my point? Sutra style is ancient. Earlier forms of. So Jaimini is technically the oldest of whatever we have astrologically available to us. From his writing style, at least we can infer that. Right? And specifically, it is very direct, right? So there is no poetic thing. Like, in traditional astrology, there is a shloka in Jatak Parija that if all the planets are powerful and they aspect moon, then the person is the lord of such a big army that when the elephants of his army will walk, from the thumping of those elephants, so much of dust will be in the air that sun will not be visible. So it is very poetic, right? It is very poetic. And if you read Raja Yoga shlokas, almost every Raja Yoga is very poetic, very poetic. You cannot distinguish which is a more powerful Raja Yoga and which is a weaker Raja Yoga. Getting my point? And that is a problem with multiple things. Getting my point? You cannot actually distinguish between things. This is the problem with shloka style. Happiness, Raja Yoga, good result is told so many times, so many times, so many times that if you go to BPHS and read the result of Dashantar Dasha, 9 dashas, 9 antardashas, how many Dashantar Dasha will be there? 9 nines are 81, right? 81 Dashantar Dasha will be there. And out of those 81 Dashantar Dasha, in 70 Dashantar Dasha, he have written that person will get married, he will have name and fame, person will get married, he will have name and fame. Out of 81 dashas, if in 17 dashas you are getting name and fame and happiness and children and marriage, how you are actually supposed to predict? Please tell me that. So do you understand the problem? That problem is not there with Jaimini at all. He is very clear, concise, sharp to the point. Okay. The third and the most important thing, traditional astrology is sometimes confusing. Traditional astrology is sometimes confusing. Jaimini is not confusing. I will be giving you a few examples. For an example, Jupiter in 6th to Moon will make Shakti Yoga. Jupiter in 6th to Moon will make Shakti Yoga. And that same Jupiter will make Chandradi Yoga as well. Chandradi Yoga is a Raja Yoga and Shakti Yoga is a very bad yoga. Jupiter in 8th house from Moon will make Shakti Yoga, very bad yoga, as well as Chandradi Yoga, very good yoga. So what you are supposed to take? Chandradi Yoga or Shakti Yoga? So what we do in parampara, we will say Adi yogas are mentioned by Varamir, so we take Adi yoga. Shakti yoga is not mentioned by Varamir, so we will not take Shakti yoga. But whatever, there is a confusion. First of all, what if you are not from parampara? Then what you do? You know nothing. In Jaimini, there is no controversy. One clear point, mane one clear point. Do you got me? No confusion, no ambiguity, no opinion of, no disgracing of opinion. Getting my point? Whatever Jaimini is saying, it is one pointed single shot. No problem. There is a Kemadrum yoga in traditional astrology. There is a Kemadrum yoga in Jaimini astrology. Both of them give poverty. The Kemadrum yoga of normal astrology, 80% of the people have, even I have. But I don't have the results of Kemadrum yoga. And there is one Kemadrum yoga and 6 cancellations to that Kemadrum yoga in traditional astrology. In Jaimini astrology, there is one Kemadrum yoga, one condition, no cancellation, and if this condition is there, person is poor. And added to that, there is the mention of the appropriate dashantar dasha when this result will happen. If someone is having a Kemadrum yoga from traditional astrology in his chart, you are supposed to say that the person will be poor as the result is poor, but when? Problem. Jaimini, one condition, clear shot, when the result will happen, clear shot. No confusion, no tension. The Kemadrum yoga of Jaimini is equal number of malefics in second house and eighth house. Equal number of malefics in second house and eighth house, and it is a rare condition. 90% chart will not have that. Why? Because such poor person will not come to you. They will not be able to afford you until unless you do free astrology. And those who will have real poverty and real misery. It is not very common like the normal Kemadrum yoga, moon alone. Out of all of those people watching this video, I think 80% of them have moon alone. And I have seen rickshaw pullers with Sunufanafa Durdura yoga. I myself have Kemadrum yoga. Bhai. You think I am a miser pauper? I don't think so. Right? You don't know how many admission requests I cancel every day. No, you are not eligible to take admission. Actually, I make a prashna as soon as you approach me and decide based on that what I'm going to answer. So yeah, do you get my point? That's the second reason. Clear cut, one condition, if fulfilled, one result, when it will get fulfilled, one thing, simple, easy. Understood? The third thing with Gemini. In normal astrology, you have to remember a whole lot of things, right? See, that's why to join the Gemini course, right? Because that's why the classes are free. In normal astrology, if you have to see money, finances, there are a whole lot of things, right? 80% of the yogas mention that the person will become rich. Right? Then second house, 11th house, fifth house, ninth house. They being strong in D1, D9, D3, D4, D8, D12, 16 divisional charts added to that. Dashantar Dasha added to the Pushkaramsha, Pushkar Bhaga, Mrityu Bhaga, this Bhaga, that Bhaga, and whatnot. Right? In Gemini, we are very simple. 11th from Arud, that's all. One house, one technique, simple. If it happens, okay. Doesn't happen, not okay. Done. No house, no condition, no criteria. One rule, straightforward, simple. If the rule matches, result is there. If it is not matching, no result. Simple. We don't develop second lord, third lord, fourth lord, fifth lord, doesn't matter. Simple criteria. Like in Jaimini, there is a very simple rule. Two planets give money. Planets in 11th to Arud Lagna, or benefic or exalted planet in second to Arud Lagna. Second house, only benefic or exalted planets, Swarashi planets accepted. Powerful planets or benefics in second house accepted. If not, then 11th house, only this. If it is happening, person is rich. Not happening, not rich. Very simple. No confusion of second house, fifth house, ninth house, 11th house, D1, D9, D2. In D2 calculation confusion. What to do, what not to do. Parijatams, Gopuram, Shadvarga, Saptvarga, Dashvarga, what to do. And 20, 30 Dasha, Santrada, Kaltak Dasha, Vimshatri Dasha, Yogini Dasha, this Dasha, that Dasha, Blue Dasha, Black Dasha. Simple, straightforward. One thing, one rule, one Dasha, get it done. Very simple, concrete, direct. No confusion, no hustle bustle. Right? That's it. You don't have to remember a whole lot of things. Other systems don't give you remedies. Jaimini do give you. In the starting itself, he will give you remedy. Okay, this is the remedy, remedy, remedy. Okay, you do, you do, you do. Right? And shlokas have multiple interpretation. So there is a problem, there is a solution. There is a problem, there is a solution. All these things adds up to how easy Jaimini is. That's why it is very easy. See, imagine yourself. You have to remember 15 things versus you have to remember one thing. By which one is easy? One thing that you have to remember. No. Jaimini is so simple and so easy that it will be the only course that I will be teaching over and over again. Once I am done with all the 5 levels. Doing all those 5 levels will take me 5-7 years at least, right? So the right time to join for now is now. I will be teaching it over and over again, but from next time onwards, the admissions will not be open like this. From the next time onwards, I will handpick students from other courses to do this only. Right? No invitation to join. Right now, it's the first or the last time as the invitation to join that anyone can join. Otherwise, I am not going to do anything. And to become a brilliant student takes a whole lot of iron, let me tell you. Specifically, if the teacher is I am the teacher, right? I'm not going to be happy if you answer me, sir, May says the 4th house, so this person is having domestic violence at home. I'm like, get lost what you're learning in astrology. Right. So this thing. Okay. No, Roshan Yadav, you don't need any type of basics to start learning astrology. Yeah, start learning Jaimini. I will be teaching all the basics. Right? Forget everything. It is not Parashar, it is not Birgu, it is nothing. It is Jaimini. It is the first course in Jaimini. I will be teaching basics, I will be teaching advanced. Everything that is needed is what I will teach. You should just know English and have some time, patience, and the desire to do hard work. That's all. Whatever needs to be teached, need to be taught, I will be teaching myself. You don't have to come with a notion of sir, moon indicates mind. No. We don't take the concept of mind itself. Okay. Here moon indicates something else. In Jaimini, moon have the least number of significations. In Jaimini, almost moon is having no significations at all. Right? So everything that you know about moon is gone. Right? So whatever is needed, I will be teaching that. There is no need for you to know anything. Right? It is my duty to give you a lesson. Right? So this is the first thing. Okay. Other than this, the few points, right? It is having one rule, one technique, one thing. You don't have to remember a whole lot of things. The things are directly told to you. Other than that, I am quite a brilliant guy. So multiple interpretation of the verses is something that we are going to cover. Like I will be doing a small exercise with you people so that you people understand what a research means. Because that is very seriously needed, right? People don't know what is a research. let me teach you that first, right? So we will be doing a small few exercise. Just let me be the introduction that we will be doing. In these 3 days, we will be doing some very cute things with you people, right? Kind of a lively class where I want you people to interact. Hmm? Fine. Other than this, so Gemini is simple. Simple because you don't have to memorize a whole lot of rules. You have to memorize one simple rule. And how that rule will work, you know what? There are not multiple things there. Do you get my point? Like in normal astrology, there are a whole lot of permutations and combinations, right? So exalted planet is good, but it is not good in 6 at 12. 11th house is bad. Sorry, 11th house gives gain, but the 11th lord is bad. So if the 8th lord is exalted in the 4th house, what you will say? That it is good because of exaltation, or bad because of it is the 8th lord, or because it is being digbalheen, or what you are going to say, right? It is a confusing situation. It is a confusing scenario. Gemini is pretty clear. One rule, one technique. If this happens, okay. If it doesn't happen, not okay. Very simple. Exaltation, debilitation are only used at a certain places. If it matches with the certain places, all okay. Doesn't match with the certain places, not okay. Right? Very simple criteria. Getting my point? Because the sage is writing in a way because he's writing in such a way that you have to read it. Getting my point? So that's why it is easy. Other than being easy, there is something that every Gemini practitioner have told. Right? Let me tell you something. There are people who do Gemini astrology, and there are people who fake that they do Gemini astrology, and there's a difference. Don't want to talk much about it. Right? But taking a book of K. N. Rao and reading Chardasha and applying it on 2 horoscopes based on the Chardasha quoted in Jagannath Hora doesn't make you a Gemini astrologer. Sorry, come out of the illusion. Right? So doing Gemini, knowing Gemini is a different task. And talking about your Atmakaraka will be the Dharkaraka of your spouse is a different fantasy. How people get such orgasm, I don't know. Check it in the 20 chart of married people and your formula will bash on your head. Because firstly, you're not calculating the Dharkaraka or Atmakaraka in the right way, first of all. Right. So a scholar, a research scholar, someone with knowledge and intelligence is an altogether different guy as compared to someone who's faking to be a scholar or faking to be an astrologer, right? And you will know the difference, of course, normally. So my basic point was whoever have practiced Gemini astrology seriously, have done some researches and a few things. Like if you practice something seriously, you are supposed to have some doubts and some new inventions, right? Astrology is a PhD kind of study. And if you are serious about it, you will have a few doubts, some theories you will refute, some theories you will agree to, right? This happens this way, always with any subject. If there is a person who agrees to everything, you know he knows nothing. The person who is not asking any question in the class is someone who is not understanding even a single word, right? So all the people who have practiced astrology, Gemini astrology seriously, there have been 4 or 5 people, not naming them, have told one thing always. I will also repeat the same stuff. In normal astrology, a dasha may indicate something. You get my point? A dasha may indicate something. That thing may or may not happen. Right? That thing may or may not happen. Govind Kumarji, the fees is very simple. It is a 7-month course and the fees is 10,000 per month. And so it is quite in an installment way, so it doesn't fall very hard on you, right? Okay. If you go to the website, there is a one-shot payment, right? And if you contact me, there is a 10,000 per month installment that you can pay with, right? Good. So, yeah, whoever have practiced Jaimini tells one thing. In Parashar or Varamihir or any astrology, a dasha will indicate something which may happen or may not happen. Do you get my point? In Jaimini, there is nothing like this. If Jaimini is saying this will happen, that means this will happen either by hook or by crook. Right? People have gone to such extent that they have told that because Parashar astrology is based on Vimshottari and Vimshottari is based on moon, it indicates what your mind desires to do. Your mind desires to marry, your mind desires to have a child, but the world is not changed by your mind's desire. Jaimini, based on dashas, tell you the concrete things that will happen. Do you get my point? Or let me tell you one thing. There is a group of dancers. They have featured on multiple television shows in India. And they are very close clients of mine. Very close. Like one of my friend is the dancer in the group. And the complete group is very closely known to me. They have been on multiple shows, right? To multiple foreign countries and multiple tours they have, and they're my very, very close friends. So that DJ, so once they were practicing somewhere, and I was also invited for the show. I went a bit late. I was not interested in the show. So I went a bit late, and then there is a off stage discussion that people usually refer to, right? I was discussing, and we were spending some good time discussing a few things. And the DJ guy, I don't remember his name now. There was a guy named Shubham as well, right? And he was somewhere from hills around Chamoli, Nainital, somewhere, right? And the DJ was his friend. And as he came to know that I am an astrologer, so DJ was like, "Sir, I am going through a very rough patch in life. You predict me something." It was a very Hindi talk. So it's you predict something for me. I was looking at their charts, and because the group was founded by one of my very close friends. They were struggling at that time. I'm talking somewhere around 2014-15, right? So I looked at the chart of the DJ, and as per Vimshottari, it was a normal time, nowhere related to marriage. But in Jaimini, it was the dasha of a planet who was the seventh lord from Atmakaraka. Right? The dasha of a planet who was the seventh lord from Atmakaraka. In Jaimini, we don't have the dasha of planets, we have the dasha of Rashi. So all the Rashi rules that you have learned up to this extent works very well with Jaimini. Like if it works 90% in Parashar, in Jaimini it works 99%. Because Jaimini is whole Rashi based. Right? Jaimini is completely Rashi based. There is no Dasha of Mars Mercury. There is Dasha of Aries Taurus. Right? That is specifically with Jaimini. So the person was going through the Dasha of a planet, and the Rashi was having the seventh lord from Atmakara. And he was telling that I am in relationship with this lady, and I want to, I want to know what will happen. So my friend interrupted that Shubham, we told him to get rid of the lady. He's not getting rid of the lady. I looked at the dasha and I said, he cannot get rid of the lady because he is sexually very active with that lady. And the person was awestruck how I did this. Based on Jaimini. If the dasha of the seventh lord is activated, the person is physically enjoying marriage. No matter he's married or not, doesn't matter, right? If Gemini is saying such condition is being activated, that means it is being activated. There is no ifs and no buts with it. Do you get my point? Am I being very clear to you? Yeah. So that's what is the speciality with Gemini, right? Good. That is the thing. Like recently, I was doing a consultation some 2 3 days ago, and I, just told the person that you were not about to come in this relationship, and you have multiple other options also, but you just came in this relationship because you wanted a physical relationship. So it is a kind of a compromise for some physical thing. And he said, this, sir, you are so true. So how I get it? I get it all from Gemini. And you know what is the power with Gemini? It is very simple. Gemini is so simple that even someone who is not very well versed with mathematics can also master it. The calculation is like pretty very simple. The dashas are very simple. The dashas have a particular year, 8 years, 9 years. You can just mentally calculate all of them. And once you are well known with all the basics, even calculating those things are not very difficult. It is very, very simply very easy. Right? It is simply very easy, and there is no confusion in calculating them. You get my point? So that is the speciality with Gemini. Good, right? Now the way Gemini is practiced nowadays, it is very not very good, to be very honest with you. Why it is not very good? The way Gemini is practiced today, that way is not very good. Why it is not very good? It is because of three reasons. And these three reasons are the basic reason why I'm starting this course, why we are learning this. Point number one. People don't do complete Gemini astrology. They use Gemini in fragments. I believe in the words of Robert Soboda, what he told in Light on Life. Right. He says that there is no problem in using two systems of astrology. Just don't mix them. The problem is people are doing Gemini astrology like your Dharakarak will be connected to the seventh or the Lagna lord of your spouse. Well, Lagna is a Parashari concept, isn't it? Like there is a research by some great astrological institution that a person can get married in the Vimshotri Dasha of Dharakarak. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the thing works or not. I'm all about why to mix it in such a way. Pure undiluted things have their own value. And such people who mix Gemini with other systems will never make a statement that Gemini is very concrete, Gemini is very, because the mixing comes with handicaps. Do you get my point? The mixing comes with handicap. Those who mix Gemini with Parashari, those who mix Gemini with Bhrigu, will never say that Gemini is one of the most accurate systems because they don't use it completely. Getting my point? Those who use Gemini completely as a separate branch, they vouch on the they vouch on the accuracy of Gemini, right? So as Vasant ji commented, I'm not teaching you how to make khichdi. I'm teaching you how to make shahi paneer, right? So khichdi I don't do, right? Neither I promote khichdi. Right? Got my point? First point. Secondly, I think Gemini is misinterpreted. Why? Why I think so? Can I think anything out of blue? No, I don't. There are people who think things out of blue. I'm not the one of them. So let me tell you the level of astrology that I know. Okay, just a small intro. So in Gemini, there is something known as Rashi Drishti. There is something known as Rashi Drishti. And the normal definition of Rashi Drishti, you all must have been aware of. I'm pretty sure about that, right? You know, there is a problem with that Rashi Drishti. And there are three problems. Problem number one, a fixed sign is expected by all the movable signs except the movable sign next to it. Don't write it. I will just refute the whole thing. All movable signs are expected by all fixed signs except the sign next to it. That means to say Aries is expected by Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Don't you think it is a whole lot of houses to be expected with? Don't you think it is a whole lot of houses? It is a whole lot of houses. So for any fixed sign, for any movable sign, the sign in fifth to it, the sign in eighth to it, and the sign in 11th to it will always expect it. 5, 8, 11 always expected. Don't you think this 3 is a very big number? So that is the confusion. Using this system, what happens? All too many aspects come to one factor, and some factors are completely without aspects, so you cannot predict things accurately. Do you understand my point? What I want to say? That's the problem number one. It makes the complete chart lopsided, complete chart heavy in one area only. Problematic, right? Secondly, it is referred as Rashi Drishti. The shloka is Abhi Pashyati Rikshani. Let me break the first word. Abhi Pashyati. Abhi means in front. Abhi means in front. Pashyati, to see. Aspect, to see. Abhi Pashyati. The frontal signs are looked at, or it will look at the sign in front. Now, you know what, what is the most laughable thing that I will tell you right now? So they do it on a South Indian chart. They say that Jaimini astrology is developed in South India. I don't want to comment on where it was developed, but I'm pretty sure that one particular area of India to justify this thing is not good. Specifically, because a whole lot of things were developed in South India, and everything is not treated in this way. So this is a South Indian chart, you know. The thing that you see in front of you is a South Indian chart. They say that Abhi Pashyati Rikshani means the Rashis look at the frontal sign, right? The Rashis will look at the sign in front of him. And front, so you know how to read a South Indian chart, right? This will always be Aries. This will always be Taurus. This will always be Gemini. This will always be Cancer. This will always be Leo. This will always be Virgo. Will always be Libra. This will always be Scorpio. This will always be Sagittarius. This will always be Capricorn. This will always be Aquarius. And this will always be Pisces. So they make a comment that Rashis always aspect the Rashi in front to them. So Aries aspects Scorpio in front of Aries. Taurus aspects Libra in front of Taurus. Aquarius aspects Cancer in front of Aquarius. Capricorn aspects Leo in front of Leo. Capricorn aspects Leo, that is in front of Capricorn. Pisces aspects Virgo, which is in front of Pisces, and Sagittarius aspects Gemini, that is in front of Sagittarius. Do you think this approach is right? How many people think that it is right? Do you think it is right? What your mind says? Do you think it is right? Come on, answer me. Zodiac is a circle. What is a zodiac? Zodiac is a circle. No matter South India, North India, East India, wherever in the world. Zodiac is either a circle or a oval. Right? Either ways, right? The sky is 360 degree. The sky is 360 degree. So in front, suppose Aries is 0 degrees, right? 0 degree to 30 degree. In front of 0 degree to 30 degree, in a 360 degree circle, there will always be 180 degree in front of 0 degree, right? So if you have to talk of the front, then in front of 0 degree, that is Aries, there have to be 180 degree, that is Libra. In front of Aries, there will always be Libra, right? The South Indian chart makes it is not a very good thing, right? Will make you illusioned. This is what the South Indian chart will do. In front of Aries, Scorpio can never come. Scorpio is the 8th sign, right? In a 12 sign zodiac, in front of 1, there should be 7. In front of 2, there should be 8. In front of 3, there should be 9. In front of 4, there should be 10. In front of 5, there should be 11. In front of 6, there should be 12. Isn't it? That is the real thing that should be. But that is actually not happening. Right? That's the problem number 2. Why South Indian chart? The calculations are made on a circular zodiac. It is not made on a particular type of chart. If the calculations are made on South Indian chart, then why do we have a North Indian chart? Everyone should use South Indian chart only, right? The North Indian chart will become all bogus. You cannot say that North Indians don't know astrology. You know, the Parashar Gufa, etc. is in North India only. To be very honest with you, the Kurukshetra, etc. is in North India only. Isn't it? All the Sindhu Ghati was in North only, right? Problem. To add a point to it, we are just continuing with the second point. The third point is the more eye-opening, right? You remember my first point, right? The first point was one Rashi will become aspected by 3 shines, and that is too much. That always means that every movable sign is aspected by the signs in 5th, 8th, and 11th. That makes a normal nature that every movable sign is intelligent because the 5th sign is aspecting. Every movable sign is intelligent because the 5th sign is aspecting, right? That's very true. Every movable sign is intelligent. You are born in Libra, you are very intelligent. You are born in Aries, you are very intelligent. You are born in Cancer, you are born in Capricorn, you are very intelligent. But that makes a natural trait. The people of fixed lagna, the ninth house will always respect the fixed lagna. So the fixed lagna people born in Taurus, people born in Aquarius, people born in Scorpio, people born in Leo are not very intelligent, but they have a whole lot of experience. So fixed ascendant people will always answer you something based on experience. The movable ascendant people will always answer you things based on intellect. Because every movable sign is going to have an aspect over the fifth sign from that sign, whereas every fixed sign is going to have an aspect over the ninth sign from that sign. Do you get me? But that is a natural trait. But that is a natural trait. Do you get me? Am I understandable? So that was my first point, that these are the natural traits and there are a whole lot of things under consideration, right? The second point, in front of Aries, there is never a Scorpio. The elliptic, the zodiac is a circle, not a square. The South Indian chart is a square, not a circle. What have you learned? The Earth is square. Eh? This is what you have learned. Which school? Which school you went by? It was really a very pathetic school. Let me tell you. Many people died proving that Earth is round. It is a very old research that Earth is round. You should be outsourced to Mars in the Elon Musk thing to see actually that the Earth is round. So there is a system of astrology. Let me tell you how many systems of astrology you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may know, Western astrology, Indian astrology, Chinese astrology, Japanese astrology. In Indian astrology, how many systems you know? Jaimini, that we are talking about. Parashar, Vara, Mihir, Brigu, Yavan. Believe me, I know a few more than you. And there is a system known as Lampaka Jyotish. Have you heard of it? The system of Lampak. There is a astrological system made by Lampak, the sage Lampak. Okay. And it is quite popular in Kerala. Lampaka Jyotisham. And in Lampaka Jyotisham also, there is a concept of Rashi Drishti. And Lampak writes shlokas. And he have written about Rashi Drishti. And do you know what is Rashi Drishti as per Lampak? Lampak is a sage. That's why I told you, the list of 18 sages doesn't include the name of Lampak. But Lampak is a sage. That's why I told you it is unauthentic. Right? That's why I told you that it is unauthentic. So Lampak astrology, Lampak Jyotish tells you that Rashi Drishti means every movable sign will aspect the 11th sign. Every fixed sign will aspect the 9th sign. And every dual sign will aspect the 7th sign. That is called Rashi Drishti. Are you surprised? That is what is Badak. They create Badak because they are looking at the sign. That's very simple. Badam is interference with the duty of the sign because they are looking at the sign. If I am looking at your home, will I let you do some unlawful activity? I will interfere with your duties. कपड़े बाहर क्यों सुखाता है, कुत्ते को क्यों घुमाता है, तेज आवाज में स्पीकर क्यों चलाता है, बता मेरे को. But it is Jaimini, it is not Lampak. Right? But Lampak have this opinion. And let me leave it to you for research now. Because I have told this stuff, right? So apply the Rashi rules of Jaimini with this set of what Lampak told. that all the movable sign will aspect the 11th sign or gets aspected by the 11th sign. All the fixed signs will get aspected by the ninth sign, and all the dual signs get aspected by the seventh sign. So when you have Mars in the seventh house, and I don't take the, if you have Mars in the seventh sign in Libra, and when I give more weightage to that, you are not having a child because of Mars in the seventh house. That's because I'm using Rashi Drishti, right? Because the 11th is the fifth house, right? So the seventh house Mars can actually influence the fifth house, giving you the problem there, isn't it? The basic rule of fifth lord in the seventh house or seventh lord in the fifth house doesn't give you either child or marriage because of this particular reason, because they are badhakas, troubles to each other, either no marriage or no child depending on where the planet is. However, coming to my point, so what is my third point? So we talked of 2 points, right? The point number one, it is a whole lot of science and they are the natural traits. Point number two, Lampak refers to Rashi Drishti as something else, and the circle, zodiac is a circle, not a square, right? What is my third point? And you will laugh right now. The shloka is, do you know the shloka? Do you remember the shloka? Abhi Pashyanti Rikshani. What is the shloka? Abhi Pashyanti Rikshani. You know what does Riksh means? Do a Google search. Riksh means nakshatra. Riksh doesn't mean a Rashi. Rashi means a Rashi. Rashi is named as a Rashi. Rashi is not named as a Riksh. Riksh means nakshatra. So why the thing you are talking about Rashi? When he is talking of nakshatra, abhi pashyanti rikshani. When he is talking of riksh, which means nakshatra, why you are naming it as Rashi Drishti? That's why I tell you, people do Jaimini astrology without knowing what is Jaimini astrology. What a pathetic problem. Don't you think so that it is a problem? Do you think that it is a problem? I think that it is a problem. I think that it is a problem. People don't understand things in the way it was supposed to be understood. And that's the real problem. That's the real problem. You should understand things in the way they are supposed to be understood. But problem. You don't understand it the way they were supposed to understood. So what's the solution? Riksha means nakshatra. Riksha doesn't mean Rashi. Here's Amarkanji. Varamihir have given the sloka Rashi Kshetra Grakshmani Jaigartha Sampratyaya. Technically, by the shloka, he means that whenever we give any rule for Rashi, Kshetra means house, technically, right? So he is just saying that all the rules told for the fourth Rashi is applicable to the fourth house, and all the rules told for the fourth house is also applicable to the fourth house, fourth Rashi. So technically, fourth house indicates mother, so does the fourth Rashi Cancer. And this is what he means, but it doesn't dabble with the basics of the thing. That riksha means sign. That riksha means nakshatra. And one more thing is like Varamir is very later. Is to 5 centuries AD. Jaimini is quite earlier. Jaimini possibly is coming from a branch, coming from a time which have just migrated to Rashis. Very ancient, very old. And if we take what is interpreted as Rashi Drishti, then it will contradict with Lampak. And Lampak is a sage, and two sages cannot contradict each other. Like if I tell you Vashisht and Bharadwaj are fighting that Shiva is bigger and or Vishnu is bigger, and they are throwing stones at each other, can you believe it? Sages are not supposed to fight, not supposed to contradict, because the knowledge is coming from one source. So if Lampak is saying it is Rashi Drishti, Jaimini is nowhere going to do it. It's like, okay, if you say it is Rashi Drishti, it is Rashi Drishti. For an example, in traditional astrology, everyone is like Mars is having fourth, fifth, and eighth aspect. So all is like undoubtedly yes. Right? No one is introducing a new aspect for Mars. Everyone is like, yeah, 458, 458, sorry, 478, 478, 478. Right? No doubt, no confusion, very clear. Right? Moon is the Karka for mother. Everyone is like, yes, Moon is the Karka for mother. Yes, yes, yes. Right? No one is saying, no, it is wrong. Moon is not a Karka for mother. Mars is the Karka for mother. No one is saying so. Even if some texts are showing Mars is the Karka for mother, they will say Mars is the secondary Karka for mother, Moon is the primary Karka for mother. If even they have to say. And then two sages will not do such thing, later text will do. That Mars can show the death of mother, but they will never say that Mars is the Karka for mother, because Moon once told by unaccepted fact, like Saturn is the servant, so Saturn is servant everywhere. No contradiction. Right? So Riksha means star, not even nakshatra. Riksha means star. Hmm? That's There's a confusion there as well. So let me leave it right now. But now, what do you do with this Abhipashanti, Rikshani, and Parsavadech? He himself told to use Katapayadi. Yeah, so we can say Rashi is a collection of stars. That is very true. But that will not justify that he's talking about Rashis. And we are just taking it, you know why we are justifying it? Because everyone have put it into our mind that it is Rashi Drishti. Jaimini is not even talking. And let me tell you one thing. In the first chapter, he haven't uttered a single word about Rashi. He will start Rashi from the chapter 1, Pada 2, where he will say the Rashi of Atmakaraka. In chapter 1, technically, he is not even dealing with Rashi. Then why he is supposed to? Why he is supposed to? The first ever shloka on Rashi will come in chapter 1, Pada 2. In the first chapter, there will not talk of Rashi, technically. The talk of Rashis will come after Savarna Bhavarashishya. After that, it will come. And in that shloka also, Savarna Bhavarashishya, he have written Bhavarashishya, Bhava and Rashi. Bhava and Rashi. It is not Rashi and Bhava. He's supposed to talk about Bhava first. That is the cryptic thing of Jaimini, you know. I'm having a Jaimini Sutra in my hand for small reference, although we are not going to refer to it. Jaimini chapter 1, Pada 1, Shloka 32. Sarvatra Savarna Bhavarashishya. Sarvatra Savarna Bhavarashishya. Sarvatra everywhere. Savarna by Katapayadi. Bhavarashishya. I have talked about Bhava and Rashi. He must have written Sarvatra Savarna Rashi Bhavasya. No. He must have. Sarvatra Savarna Rashi Bhavasya. Sarvatra Savarna Bhavarashishya. Both are normal. But he is writing Bhavarashishya. That right now I am talking about Bhav. In the next chapter, I am talking about Rashi. This is chapter 1, chapter 2, right? Chapter 1 on basics, chapter 2 on Karkams. Now, compare it with chapter 3 and chapter 4. Arud and Upad. That's the difference between them. Arud majorly plays on house, Uppad majorly plays on Rashi. You don't believe it? Read it. In the Arud chapter, he will refer to Rashi very less. In Uppad chapter, he himself will start with planet exalted, debilitated, more than one marriage. Exalted, debilitated happens where? In Bhava or in Rashi. In Rashi. So he have used the methodology. Bhava 1, Rashi 2, Bhava 1, Rashi 2, Bhava 3, Rashi 4. Is what he have done. And this is where he is correcting. That's why people will be like, Jaimini scripting. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. That's what you do with a sutra. As I told you, unambiguous, clear, to the point. We just lost the habit of reading things over to the point. Right? The first sutra of Brahma Sutra is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Now I am having Brahma Jigyasa to know. See, it matters a lot in Sutra. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Athato Jigyasa Brahma. Brahma Jigyasa, Jigyasa Brahma. The difference. Getting my point? Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Now, Brahma, God, Jigyasa, I want to know about. Now I want to know about God. Athato Jigyasa Brahma. Now curiosity is on Brahma. The whole thing changes, right? That is the peculiarity of the sutra. It is word by word fine. Right? Word by word fine, delicate, sharp. No word can be here or there. It is Jaimini. If you take one point out in Katpayadi, it will mean entirely a different thing. We are using Katpayadi, right? One small word and all the Katpayadi meaning will go astray. Right? Gemini cannot use Manda or Saturn by his choice because Manda will mean something else in Katpayadi. Not there is no Katpayadi for planets, right? So he cannot use the word Sheshe or Antye interchangeably because Sheshe will mean something else and Antye will mean something else. Katpayadi mein, right? Sha will be 5 or will be 0. He himself have told, be careful. Sarvatra Savarna Bhav Rashyasya, right? Be careful, be careful. In this Sarvatra Savarna Bhav Rashyasya, he himself is telling how to read his text, right? Use Katpayadi always. And what he have told, Bhav Rashyasya, Bhava is to be given preference, Rashi comes after that. Getting my point? Read the result of Atmakaraka in Aries and apply the result in Atmakaraka in the first house. Make a set of Atmakaraka in first house, 20 charts. Atmakaraka in Aries, 20 charts, and do a comparative analysis where the result is matching. You will know the answer yourself. I will not have to explain it. You will know it yourself. Don't worry. हाथ कंगन को आरसी क्या पढ़े लिखे को आरसी क्या वैसे आरसी तो गाड़ी में लगती है हाथ कंगन में तो लगती है कंगन खरीदने के लिए कहाँ से आरसी बनती है आरसी तो गाड़ी की है Yes, this point is very good, Shobhitansu, that in older times, the nakshatra system of Jyotish was practiced and Rashi was developed later on. That's very true. Do you understand me? So what to do with the Drishti, we will be covering in tomorrow's class. That will be free, of course. So don't forget to join. Today I want to deal something else. Right? We'll cover this in tomorrow's class. That is also free. So just by knowing the Rashi, you will not know anything. I am giving you a bigger confusion. That if the shlokas belong to Rashi or to house. Do it yourself, right? DIY, do it yourself and find it yourself. No comments. Free to choose yourself. As I will give you the thing. The second exercise that I'm going to do right now with you people. Very simple. It's very simple. And you know what? I am quite a practical guy. So, okay. Whenever I talk of Jaimini, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Atmakaraka? Who is an Atmakaraka? First thing, who is an Atmakaraka? And second thing, it is Atmakarak or Atmakarak. Because Atma means self and Atma means soul. And they are two different things, self versus soul. So it is Atma or Atma. It is At. There can be no Karaka for Atma because Atma doesn't get attached to any body or any guna or anything. Right? So Atmakarak will be a planet who will be Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, male, female, anything, right? Can your soul be a male or female? Is my soul a male or a female? Nothing. It is neutral. That's what you did in Bhagavad Gita, right? In the day one. That Atma is not ascribed to gender, identity, taste, likes, dislikes. Atma is not, So there's a concept of, there's a Western concept of twin flame. And I laugh over it. Twin flame, who is the male would be? Right? So Atmas have no gender. When it is told in Bhagavad Gita that Krishna is only the male soul and others are the female soul, it just means that, like, as female want to have a male, our souls want to have Krishna. It is not to say that soul have a gender, because Krishna himself will say, na, that soul is not having anything. And I just forgot the shloka, but there is the shloka, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. After that, there's a shloka that a soul is not having anything of its own. Caste, color, creed, gender, nothing, right? So when it is told that Krishna is the male soul and others are the female soul, it is just an indicative of that being a male soul, he's having the ability to reproduce, right? And he is not limited. As you know, a female once she's pregnant is limited for 9 months to have another child, right? No, महीने में तुमको बच्चा दोबारा हो नहीं सकता भैया, because she's pregnant already. But a male can be producing a new child every next minute, right? And from that one sperm also he can have a whole lot of child, right? So it is just an indicative of that Krishna is capable of making a whole lot of things in a moment, whereas other souls are not that much capable of making things. They can desire one thing at once, and once desired, they are locked in the desire for the next 9 months. Normal soul. Krishna is not attached to any of these things, right? He can be producing as many things as he wants, because Krishna does the world as per his desire, right? That was the basic point. That Krishna makes the world, destroys the world as per his desire. He is not bound by an obligation. That is the basic point told in Vedas. What is the difference between Krishna and us? Krishna can have an emotion and he will not interact with that emotion. He will not get affected by that emotion, right? We will have an emotion and we will get attached by that emotion, interacted by that emotion, right? But in the course of Bhagavad Gita, we will do this stuff, not right now, right? Just a basic point. Right. So yeah, for the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. So when the soul is not doing anything at all, how can there be karaka for soul? If you are having an atmakaraka, that means every life you have to have same atmakaraka, nahi? Then every life you have to have the same atmakaraka, or not? Can you change your soul? So you should have same atmakaraka in every life. So if you are once born with a Saturn Atmakaraka, you are doomed to not get a salvation. Does Bhagavad Gita teach you this, that you will not get a salvation? Is he saying that, okay, if Brahmins worship me, they will get a salvation. If a Shudra worships me, he is not getting salvation. Have you told you that? No, everyone is getting a salvation or not. So you cannot change your Atmakaraka then. So technically it is not Atmakaraka, it is Atmakaraka. Atma means self, the Karaka of the self. And I am not only pointing it based on the philosophy. I cannot do anything based on the philosophy only, right? So Jaimini will give you the shloka that the Navamsha of Atmakaraka will decide your complexion. The Navamsha of Atmakaraka will decide your. So is there a complexion for the soul? There's just a complexion for the body, right? Hence the shlokas. The shlokas are there, right? Atmakaraka can be exalted or debilitated. The soul cannot be debilitated, right? Soul cannot be fallen. Soul is just a soul. He cannot fall. He cannot rise. He is just the same as he is, right? So yeah, leaving the point. So it is Atmakarak. Remember it from now onwards. It is what? Atmakarak, not Atmahakarak. Not soul, but self. Is the Karak of the self, right? Self, you human in this life. Okay. So who is Atmakarak? Debated shloka. Atmadikah Kaladi Birana Bhogaha Saptanamashtanam va Atmadikah. Atma, the self, Adikah, more in, Adikah more in. Atmadikah. It will be Sandhi Vichid, right? There is Sandhi Vichid. There's something known as Sandhi Vichid, right? Breaking the words. Because in Sanskrit, there is no comma full stop. There is no punctuation in Sanskrit, right? It is written as a whole running sentence. Atma Adikah. Atma Adikah. The significator of the soul is Adik, more. Kaladi Birna Bhoga. What is the word? Kaladi Birna Bhoga. What do we understand by Kala? Kala minutes what? Come on, translate Kala in English. Minutes or degrees? Brother, degrees means amsha. And it is very basic. I don't know from where people have learned astrology. Those who did Gemini, I don't know from where they have learned basic things, right? For them, the sky, for them, the earth is not circle, for them, the earth is square. Okay? Rashi Drishti. For them, Kala means degree. For some unknown reasons. Maybe for us, degree is amsha and Kala means minute. Ansh Kala Vikla, degree minute second. What we have learned, the basics. Kalman is the first thing that we learn. So Atma Adikah Kala. Atma Karak is the one with more kalas. Now people to explain that it means Amsha have gone to the extent of justification that if two planets have the same degrees, then Atmakarak is the one having more minutes. But there is no confusion of two planets. There is no confusion of why he will talk of a confusion at first. Why he will talk of a confusion at first. There is no need to talk of a confusion first. Like you are talking to someone and you are telling him if you don't get a bus. But what do you mean by if you don't get a bus? Tell him what he is supposed to get. No. How do you talk to someone? Well, I am talking to you, sir. If you can't come, I will not make food. What does it mean? He's not going. He doesn't want to invite you. The first sentence itself is if you can't come. Why are you supposing that I can't come? If it was ever a shloka which was about to say that if contradiction happens, then it must have been the second shloka, not the same shloka, right? Now people can say because of one word he doesn't want it to break the shloka. Really? In the Drishti shloka, Abhi Pashyanti Rikshani shloka 1, Pars Bhavecha shloka 2. Pars Bhavecha 2 words. Abhi Pashyanti Rikshani 2 words. She is breaking the shloka into two words also. Why he cannot break it here? So it is all nonsense. Atmakaraka is based on minutes, not based on degrees. Okay? Atmakaraka is based on minutes, not based on degrees. The planet with highest number of minutes into your birth chart is Atmakaraka. Degrees doesn't matter. To give you a perspective, there was a great astrologer by the name of Vimuri Ramamurti Shastri from Andhra Pradesh. And he was considered one of the most brilliant Gemini astrologers. He died. Don't ask me his phone number. Okay, I don't have. Hmm. So he was one of the greatest Gemini astrologers and one of those rare people who only used to practice Gemini astrology without mixing it with any other branch of astrology. And he was quietly very much acclaimed, and his predictions were very much true. And Vemuri Sahab also used only minutes, no degrees. Although people who have decoded his writings, etc., have told me personally that he have also used degrees. But according to me, he have used degrees to find Dasha Karaka and Nitya Karaka, not the Atma Karaka. However, I may be right or I may be wrong in my interpretation of what Vemuri used to do, but I am very clear in my interpretation of what I do. I use minutes only. You use minutes only, but why? Very simple. Atma Karak means the Karak of the self, right? So make a degree based Atma Karaka and make a minute based Atma Karaka, right? And compare yourself whom you are more matching to. The Navamsha of Atma Karaka is supposed to show your complexion. You can see your white, black, brown, what color, right? See it yourself. Once again, हाथ कंगन को आरसी क्या पढ़े लिखेगा फारसी क्या? The result. See, there is one shloka that I believe in. Jyotisham prataksham sastram. Jyotish is a science which you can see through the eyes. There is a sunrise, you can see sun every day. There is a moonrise, you can see moon with your naked eyes. If I predict someone will get married in 2022, you can see his marriage in 2022 from your own eyes. Isn't it? Jyotisham prataksham sastram surya chandrama shakshina. Right? You can see it yourself. So do one thing. Calculate a minute based Atmakaraka and calculate a degree based Atmakaraka and find the difference yourself. This much for the YouTube people. I will continue the class of YouTube, right?